Is gold going higher? And if it is, what stocks could you be buying to take advantage of any upside move in the yellow metal? Now in this video I'm going to have a look at where actually gold is at the moment, a few ETFs to give you some more generalistic exposure to the gold price, and also my favorite stocks for 2023. So with that, let's get into the analysis. So let's start off focusing on the technical analysis for the price of gold. Now, if we're looking at the fundamentals of gold, there are a lot of factors that go into moving the price. It's a very difficult one to trade these days. But down the bottom of this chart, now this is the daily gold chart, Heikin-Ashi setup. You can see the correlation to the US dollar at the moment, very negative, minus 0.9. So we expect as the US dollar goes down, the gold price to go up, and that's generally what we've been seeing here. Other indicators sort of mixed, trend direction reasonably bullish, short-term momentum starting to slow down. We can see that trend on upwards from really starting November 22. And it's actually a 15.5% increase up to those highs at 2081. Now the interesting point is if we take ourselves back to March of 22 and then look recently, we've got this high blocking any upside move, and it's stayed in this yellow box area between 1975 and almost 2100, so $125 range. Got to get on up through there, and the next stop you're talking 2250. Fails from here, then we're looking back at 1900. But purpose of this video is with a more bullish outlook, so we're anticipating a move on up through there. If we just have a quick look in the short term, we've got a Renko chart here, $6 block size. Just to zoom in on the sort of nearer term action, look for some targets like we mentioned, that support around 1975, and we could be looking, like I said, those highs, the 2080 sort of area, then 2125, and then 2200. If it fails, like I said, got to crack that 1975, and then 1899 round up to 1900, and then 1850. So why use ETFs? Well, for those that don't know, ETFs are a bundle of say different stocks with a point of view that you can actually trade on the stock market. And in the world of gold, there are quite a few of them, and a lot of them are very correlated to each other. So I'm not going to go through a lot of them because they've got a similar shape to the price chart as this one here. I've picked out one. It's the iShares Gold Trust Shares, ticker IAU. And the takeaway from here is that you can see from those lows it put in around Feb 16 up about 100%, and we can see that nice look here on the way up. And this one, like I said, these ETFs replicate the underlying gold price quite closely, and if you can't trade the futures or the options, then an ETF is a good affordable way to get in. Or you don't want to trade the individual stocks and you want more general exposure, then like I said, an ETF is good. This one, iShares Gold Trust Shares, ticker IAU, one to take a look at. So with that, let's get into my favorite stocks of 2023. So I've got 8 potential stocks for you to take a further look at and do your own due diligence around. But we're going to start with Alamos Gold. Now, who are they? Well, they're a Canadian gold-based producer. Quite a few projects. They own and operate the Young-Davidson Island gold mines in Canada, the Mulatos mine in Mexico, and also, in addition, the company owns the Lynn Lake Gold Project in Manitoba, the Esperanza Gold Project in Mexico, and the Kirazi Project a few developments as well in Turkey. So they're a global player, finger heavily into the gold pot, and as we can see from the chart, have been doing particularly well from September 22 up 122%. And if we just draw on the Fibonacci's from that high and low point, see where they could be heading next. Let's just scroll that down. Well, they've struggled to get through that 14 area around out there, those highs. But if they can bounce on back up, $17 is the next target. Now remember, for all of these, they're going to be highly correlated to the price of gold, and you're going to see similar shapes. But some of these companies offer different ways in, different points of view, different perspectives on the gold industry. Some are more generalistic, metals focused, or mining, that sort of play. So it's not a straight out like for like gold play, and you've got to consider them each individually. But first one up, we've just gone through Alamos Gold. Next up, we have Anglo Gold Ashanti. Now, they're an independent global gold mining company with a very diverse portfolio, headquartered down in South Africa in Johannesburg, and they, explore, operate across 9 countries on 4 continents, so are a big player. Now, you can trade these in the US via an ADR, ticker AU, and they're on many of the world's stock markets. Now, the principal product is gold, also produces silver in Argentina and sulfuric acid in Brazil as by-products. Now, like I said, they've got big copper and gold productions in Colombia as well. And other locations, we're talking Africa, the Congo, Ghana, Guinea, Tanzania. And in the Americas, as we just mentioned, Argentina, Brazil, Colombia, so heavily there into South America. So a big player, and we take a quick look at the chart. It's the same story. That September low period and then the nice big run up. Heavy pull off at the moment as it tried to get through those highs at $30. Maybe down to this key Fibonacci line, $23 before maybe bouncing on backwards. Let's just drag that down to get us a target to the upside if it can break through those highs. Next stop's 37 and then $41, $42. Next up, we've got another South African company, DRD Gold Limited, again from Johannesburg, and it's a, the South African based holding company and subsidiaries mainly involved in the retreatment of surface gold, so a slight different edge there. Business includes Ergo, Far West Gold Recoveries, Hot Button Features, and Resources and Reserves. So a different play on the South African gold perspective. Now we go into the chart, same pattern again, and again that recent pullback as the gold price has weakened, but looking like stopping maybe around this key Fibonacci line, just under $12. If it fails, then you've got a lot of support around here at $10, but hopefully we're looking for that bounce to get back to those highs just under 14 and then all the way on up to 17.5. Now, this is one I've been enjoying trading for the last few months, Franco-Nevada Corporation. Well, they're Canadian based, but again you can trade them globally, especially in the US, around the ticker FNV. Now, it's a different point of view, give you a different angle into the world of gold, because this one focuses on royalty and streaming with a diversified portfolio of cash flow producing assets. So it's an interesting business model. Provides investors with gold price and exploration optionality while limiting exposure to cost inflation. So, like I say, an interesting stock to get involved with. And at the moment, it's been pushing up, maybe not as strong as some of those others there. Pausing around $150, $156. Looking like it could retrace back to the mid 140s. Hopefully then we'll see a bounce up to those highs around 170, and if it can get through those highs, which we saw back again in sort of the April 22 time, then where could we be looking for next move? Well, it's a good $30-40 on upwards towards the 193-195 mark. Well, we're back to South Africa once more, Goldfields Limited, and this one you're looking at, the ticker GFIs and ADRs. That means you can trade it quite easily in the US, again in South Africa and other exchanges around the world. It is a South African based gold mining company and just is, you know, a standard, you know, gold exposure type, you know, corporation for your exploration and related activities. Also do a bit of copper as well in there, in Australia and Ghana, Peru and South Africa. So they do you know, have a little bit of diversification to them, but mainly a pure, you know, gold type play. Again, the charts moving on up as we've seen with all the others, and pulling back from the recent highs just under $18, looking to bounce again from mid 15s and hopefully moving up towards $22-23. So South African gold stock starting to monopolise this list, and we've got another one, Harmony Gold Mining, ticker HMY, tradable in the US, around the world. It's another ADR, as the others, gold mining and exploration company. Got a few other related activities around exploration, extraction and processing. Also in Papua New Guinea as well as South Africa. And in terms of price action, a similar story to the others. And we can see the price moving on up, pulling on back, and we're looking for that bounce on upwards, hopefully towards the 7 area. For Cisco Gold Row, next up, ticker OR, are a Canadian-based intermediate precious metal royalty company engaged in the business of acquiring and managing precious metal and other royalty streams and similar interests in Canada worldwide. So a bit similar to the Franco-Nevada play, and again a different perspective on this, you know, precious metals gold type market. And the chart was one of the stronger ones at the moment, pushing on upwards. We've just got that little pullback there. Let's put on the Fibonacci's to see where it could be heading up next for its next breakup move. We're talking around about $21-22. And our last stock is Wheaton Precious Metals, another Canadian company, ticker WPM, one of the bigger companies on this list, about 22-23 billion market cap. And they are a precious metals streaming company, primarily engaged in the sale of precious metals, gold, silver, palladium, cobalt. So different exposure, so spreading, not just a pure gold play here. Operates 34 mining projects. Production profile is driven by portfolio of gold stream on Vale's Salobo mine, silver stream on Newmont's Penasquito mine. Operates various projects around the world, you know, South America, Europe. So a pretty strong company. Like I said, one of the bigger guys on the list, and the story of the charts have been the same. We've got this double top in here at the moment, which is normally a bearish signal, which we could expect it to pull back to that sort of $45 area. Now if we draw on the Fibonacci's from the highs, which it's struggled to break through of late, just a bit of weakness in the gold price and precious metals, maybe just dragging it down a bit there. Because if we go back to March of 22, we had the price at the $50-51, similar setup at the moment. If we can get this bounce maybe from this area, where are we heading? Well, it's about $62-63. So there you go. If we can see more bullishness from the underlying price of gold, got 8 stocks there for you to take a look at. Dominated by the Canadians and South Africans, unsurprisingly, but also thrown in some ETFs. And if you can access the futures options, then why not trade the gold market outright? Now, the end of this video, I'm going to put a couple of links for you. One is to a more generalistic video on, if you want to get into trading commodities, how can you do so? It is a more open area to be trading and very profitable if you can get the right strategies and know what you're doing. And also, if you're interested in the charts, the analysis, want to learn more, get more into trading, I've got a ultimate free trading course playlist for you to follow, work your way from top to bottom, and it will certainly help improve your trading. So with that, up come those two links.